Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here as a friend of Doug Duncan with so many friends of Doug Duncan. So this is really a great event, and I'm really proud to be here, and I'm privileged to stand up here and show my support for Doug for his bid to become the next county executive in Montgomery County. There are some decisions in life that are really hard. You have to think about them. Your reasoning is sometimes confused. There's good arguments on both sides. But then there are some decisions in life that are really easy. The path is clear, the merit is obvious, and you know exactly what to do. For me, standing up to support Doug was a very easy decision. And I say this in the context of a county, Montgomery County, which we all love, which has truly been blessed for a long time with great leaders. But Doug is really something special. And when I decided to endorse him, which again was a very easy decision, there are really three things that came to mind. The first is probably, to some extent, least relevant for this group, which is a sense of loyalty. Doug was very supportive of me during my effort to be the congressman for the 6th District of Maryland and have the privilege of representing so many of you. And loyalty means a lot to me. To some extent, I'm kind of old school in that regard. I've spent my whole life building relationships with people, and when you build relationships with someone, you stick with them, you stand up for them whenever you can. And so that was kind of the emotional reaction when I knew Doug was going to do this, that I wanted to be here and support him in any way I can do, as a friend, as someone who I view Doug as a good friend at this point. So that was the emotional aspect of it. But the real reason behind my endorsement is actually the substantive aspect of it, which is Doug has the expertise that we need, particularly at this moment in time. And Doug's leadership is not something we should be questioning ourselves around. We've seen it firsthand. Rarely do you have an opportunity to put someone in the job who you know for a fact can do it to a high standard. And I think more than ever, the skills that Doug has is precisely and exactly what our county needs. Something that's been animating me for several years about our state and our region and our county is the threats that we have to the things we care the most about based on what's happening with federal spending. And we have to acknowledge, as a state, as a region, as a county, that the reality of reduced federal spending as a percentage of our economy is the world we live in. And we have to prepare ourselves. We have to strategically think about our future. And we have to position ourselves to have a thriving private sector economy so that we can have good jobs right here in Montgomery County, and so that we can have the kind of economy we need to pay for all the things we care so much about. All the things that make Montgomery County such a spectacular place to live. The quality of our public services, our ability to protect our environment, needing good transportation, having exceptional educators teaching our students. All of these things we care about are directly linked to our ability to have a thriving private sector economy. And to do it in a way that's consistent with our values. No one understands this as well as Doug Duncan. And it's exactly the skills we need at this moment in time. So I consider ourselves very blessed to have someone who's willing to stand up and do the job at the moment in time with the exact skills we need. So that's the substantive reason I'm supporting Doug. But then, in addition to loyalty, in addition to expertise, there is a question of character. And we all know Doug as a person. We know the kind of human being he is. We know he cares about people. We see the quality of his family, right, which speaks a lot to the kind of person he is. He's a wonderful steward. I saw it on the campaign. Listen, I knew Doug was a great county executive because I dealt with him when I was running a business. And we interfaced about a whole variety of things. So it was clear to me he was a great manager. But what I didn't appreciate until he was campaigning with me is how people love him in this county. How people really come out and want to hug the big guy, right? But it's true. And they don't do that because he was a great manager, because he was. They don't do that because he has a really good strategic vision for the county, because he does. They do that because he's a really good person. And he knows he loves, and they know that he loves this place. At some really deep level, they understand that Doug Duncan and Montgomery County are kind of the same thing, right? He's wired to be a steward of this county. He's wired to care about this county. And he's wired to really work hard for the people of this county. So that's the character. So for all of loyalty, for the fact that he's the right person for the job, and out of a sense of a really compelling admiration for the character of the man, I'm really proud, and it's a real privilege to both support him and be here tonight, this afternoon, to introduce him. So thank you for having me, Doug, and I'll turn it over to you.